Now, in less than 15 hours, Donald Trump is set to take office after a resounding win in November, fueled in part by Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, what was an open border disaster. The biggest national security, self-imposed national security disaster in our history, and of course the shocking rise in crime committed by illegals. We have terrorists that are known terrorists in our country. We have murderers, we have rapists, we have cartel members, we have gang members in our country. Over the weekend, reports circulating saying that ICE officers are preparing for large-scale raids in blue cities as early as Tuesday. Now, soon after this began circulating, incoming Trump administration border czar, our friend Tom Homan, said plans are still up in the air. But earlier tonight, Donald Trump promised to end the invasion on our southern border by sunset tomorrow. Take a look.
By the time the sun sets tomorrow evening, the invasion of our borders will have come to a halt, and all the illegal border trespassers will in some form or another be on their way back home.
Tom Homan is here with much more. We've known each other a long time. I cannot think of a better person for this job than you. One of the funny things about you, it's hard to get you to smile. Because when you dial into something and you have a mission ahead of you, you're over the target, you're dialed in. What do you expect tomorrow, and how fast do you move?
We move immediately. The President Trump is going to sign a series of executive orders. I know what they are, but I'm not going to get ahead of them. They're going to be game-changing. We're going to start securing the border day one. We're going to start a deportation operation day one. We're going to start looking for over 300,000 missing children day one. All three, day one.
Isn't it like 375,000 children that we have no idea where they are? They're lost in our country, and they were used by illegals to get into the country for asylum purposes?
Absolutely, because this administration didn't do proper vetting. They didn't do DNA testing. Over 500,000 kids trafficked in this country. They released their unvetted sponsors, and now we got to try to find them. And it's going to be difficult because you and I have a footprint. We know how to find us. Children don't have a footprint, so it's going to be extremely difficult.
I want to find the kids. That's so important, and that should be a top priority, no doubt about it. Do we have any idea, let's start group by group, how many known terrorists are in this country? Because Biden and Harris allowed in people from nearly 200 countries, including, let's see, Iran, Syria, Afghanistan, Egypt, Venezuela, China, Russia. Tom, we've been friends a long time. You're not going to convince me that they made that long trek to come to America because they want a better life for themselves and their families, which I believe many people that entered illegally do want. That's what they were seeking. I believe these terrorists want to bring harm. How many people do you think we've identified accurately that are known terrorists or have known terror ties?
I think we realize about 400 that we know, but let's remember, 2.2 million gotaways, right? These are 2 million people that paid more to get away. They didn't pay less to get a free airline ticket to the city of their choice, get a free hotel room, get 3 squares a day, get free medical care. They paid more not to get vetted or fingerprinted and get away. That should scare the hell out of everybody. It does me. I've been doing this. I've worked for 6 presidents. This is the 7th administration I've worked for. I've never seen anything like this.
All right, they paid more to get in. That means they wanted to get in for a reason. I have said this. I hope you tell me I'm wrong. I pray to God that I'm wrong. But I think it's a matter of when, not a matter of if. If there are terrorists in this country, I believe they are all plotting, planning, scheming an attack on our homeland. I think it is inevitable it will happen. Am I wrong in thinking that? How do you find terrorists? How do you find the known murderers, rapists, cartel members, Venezuelan, Nicaragua gang members in nearly 20 states? How do we find them all?
Well, first of all, you're not wrong. I think something's coming. And look, we've already stopped.
I wish I was, Tom.
8 Tajikistans, right? We arrested 8 people that were in Philadelphia, New York, and LA that were planning a Russian-type terrorist event. Luckily, the intelligence community called them on chatter before they did it. But something's coming. I'm convinced something's coming. 2 million people don't cross the border. We don't know who they are, where they came from, why they came here. And you think after 9/11, right, we created all these databases, no-fly lists, FBI screening database, visa security program, which worked pretty good the last 20 years. But now Why would you put yourself in a position to get a ticket or a visa knowing you're going to be vetted when you can simply go to Mexico, pay the cartels a little bit extra money, and be a getaway? This is the biggest national security vulnerability I've seen in my career.
Okay, and self-imposed. You know, we did something during the campaign, and we scrolled the names of the people that were murdered. The names you never heard of. Well, you know, you've heard of them, but most Americans didn't hear of. There are the Laken Rileys, the Rachel Morans, the Jocelyn Nungarys, but there's a list of so many others. Murdered, raped, including children, other victims of violent crime, other crimes taking place. We'd scroll their names. Think of it, if tomorrow Kamala Harris was being sworn in as president, okay, borders would remain open. We'd have free housing, health care, education, you know, subsidies, and she would offer free sex change operations to illegal immigrants. I mean, can you have a greater degree of separation in terms of ideology and philosophy?
No, and look, President Trump's going to secure the border at the highest level ever. He's going to beat the last time. We're going to finish the job, right? Secure borders save lives. When you secure the border, less fentanyl comes across to kill Americans. Yeah. Less women and children get sex trafficked. Less terrorists get in. It's just 600% increase in sex trafficking under the Biden administration. Securing the border is going to save lives. President Trump is a game changer. I've worked for 6 presidents. No one's better, and I can't wait to get started.
Well, you're starting tomorrow. You're going to be busy.
We're going to start tomorrow.
As I said, I can't think of a better guy for the job. I've known you a long time, and I wish you all the success in the world for the safety and security of the American people. Thank you ahead of time, because I know you're going to work night and day to get that job done.
Count on it.
Appreciate it. I'm counting on it. Well, I believe you. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.